Hi, it's Melissa Daniels with Strabismus to Stereopsis, and today we are going to finish our series on different ways of treating strabismus, and we've been talking about what surgery and vision therapy can and cannot do, and today we're going to talk about what patching can and cannot do. There are many ophthalmologists and optometrists that are still prescribing patching as the sole treatment for strabismus, and so I think it's important for us to still talk about that and what the possibilities are and are not with patching. Before we jump in, make sure you head over to learn.strabismussolutions.com to see some of the different things that I offer that can help you as you get started on your journey, different resources. You can book a call with me. I have courses available. So there's a lot of great things that you can do. Don't get stuck in indecision and just doing nothing, because doing something is always going to help you get where you want to go. Now, let's talk about what patching can do. So the idea of patching is that you cover your strong eye, forcing your weak eye to work. Now, patching is really great if somebody has their brain has chosen one eye there's a lot of different reasons, and this eye hasn't gotten any use. And so the vision in that weak eye, even with the best glasses possible, might be like 2100 or something really weak, especially for like a really little kid. And you wear that patch and that can strengthen the acuity in that eye. That's what patching can do. It can force that weak eye to work, and that is going to strengthen that eye, the acuity. When I was really, really little, as a little tiny girl, I think I was like 2100 in my right eye, and I can't remember my left eye. It wasn't perfect though. And we did patching, and it got both eyes to like 20/20 and 20/30, okay? So it can improve the acuity in that eye, which is fantastic. Another thing that patching can do is if you are doing eye exercises, let's say that you are doing eye stretches like this, right? And for somebody with amblyopia, where there's a weak eye and a strong eye, I might be, fixating with my strong eye only, right? And this eye just kind of follows along because it's yoked with this eye, and so it just kind of follows, right? It's not commanding the movement. It's just kind of like a bystander. And so one thing that can be nice with patching is if I cover my strong eye, that forces the weak eye to actually do the heavy lifting and actually be the one that's following that pen, not just following and piggybacking off of the strong eye. So when it comes to eye exercises, there are definitely some where, even in vision therapy, where you're covering and doing them one eye at a time, different exercises with like accommodation where you're learning how to focus your eyes. It's really beneficial to do with a patch. So that can really help isolate what each eye is doing and making sure that each eye is learning to work equally. Okay, so that's a benefit of patching. I will say that in some cases, especially if both eyes are straight and you just a strict like amblyopia, no strabismus involved, it can really improve depth perception, because if you patch and you strengthen that weak eye and it becomes more equal to the strong eye, then the image that you're going to see together is going to have a better depth perception, better stereo because of the clarity of the images. So it is possible for your depth perception to improve, especially with like a really little kid as their visual system is still developing. That's a lot more possible. If we're talking about adults, that's not going to happen because everything is like so set in stone already. It's going to take a lot more heavy lifting than just like wearing a patch for a couple hours. Okay, another thing that it can do is it can create some problems. Okay, I'm going to just say this because patching can do this. Patching can separate your eyes enough that it actually makes your stereo vision worse. So somebody whose eyes are straight, but then you're constantly only using one at a time, the brain gets used to one-eyed seeing, and so it actually decreases the stereo vision and that coordination of the eyes working together, so that when that patch is taken off, it just is alternating between the two eyes. Okay, now let's look at some things that patching cannot do. And people might hate me, but we're just gonna jump right in. Patching is not going to fix double vision. If you have double vision and you keep patching, what happens is you're just, like I was saying before, you're separating so that only one eye is working at a time. The problem with double vision is that when both your eyes are open, they don't know how to coordinate together. And so separating the eyes even more is not going to change that. Now, there can be some like really rare cases, I would say, where there's something else going on. But I would say for the vast majority of people, separating your eyes even more is not going to fix double vision. It's not happening, okay? Another thing that patching is not going to do is to fix your eye turn. So if you have one eye that's jogging out, right? I tried this. I tried patching for 5 hours a day for like 6 months. I had a really severe eye turn. And I thought, oh yeah, I just have to make this eye stay straight as much as possible. But what I didn't realize is that as soon as I put the patch, uncovered my good eye, my eye switched to be like this. And so yeah, my uncovered eye was straight, but the other eye was turning out. So it's not like we were getting the eyes straight. It was just switching which eye I was focusing with. But it wasn't teaching them to work together, which is why my eye was turned out in the first place, right? So good to know. Patching is not going to fix that eye turn. Now, it can make your eyes stronger, like I was saying, so that when you're learning to use your eyes together, you can keep them straight because they're both working, but it's not happening with just patching, okay? Patching is a tool on the road that can really help isolate what each eye is seeing, but is not the whole package. All right, and last, I know I kind of said this in can, but it's also in cannot. So for like really little kids, it can definitely help improve stereo vision, right? If you get the acuity equal, like I was saying. But for most people, especially those of you watching this channel, patching is not going to help increase your depth perception, right? We're just separating the eyes. It's not going to change depth perception. And I think that can be disheartening because, man, wearing a patch, as hard as it was, it seems like a really easy solution. And I'm here to tell you that it's just not that easy. There's a lot of other options. You can go to learn.strabismussolutions.com, and I share a lot of those other options with you. But it's just good to know that even though that was the solution that you did when you were 7 or 5 and your parents were trying to help you, and that was what was the thing back then, was patch, patch, patch. Times have changed. There are so many amazing programs and therapies that can help so much more effectively than patching. Same concept, but it's also improving that stereo vision. You've got CureSight, which is you're watching movies with special glasses. You've got Luminopia, that's on a VR headset. You've got Vivid Vision or Optics Trainer or Equal Eyes, like different VR programs. There's a lot of different people that are using technology to treat amblyopia. You can do AmblioPlay. That's another one where you're just playing games with red and green glasses, isolating what each eye can see, but also keeping both eyes open at the same time. So not that I want to poo-poo on patching, but a little bit I do, I guess, because I just feel like times have changed and there are such better options now that weren't available to most of us when we were kids. And so it makes me so happy for the little kids with amblyopia growing up now, because there's such better options that are so much more fun and quick working and just overall better than what was around when I was little. So make sure to look into those options. If you have any questions, reach out, and I will see you in the next video.